The weight of I'm fine, the quiet burden many carry. Matthew 11:28. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. There are people who carry strength so well, you almost forget to ask how they are doing. They show up, they deliver, they hold things together. And when you ask them how they are, they smile and say, I'm fine. But sometimes that simple sentence is carrying more weight than anyone sees. Mabel didn't wake up to her alarm. She woke up to Legos. A generator coughed somewhere nearby, struggling into life. A woman's voice followed, calling out bread with a rhythm that sounded like urgency wrapped in routine. A gate slammed, a horn answered. Morning didn't arrive gently, it pressed in. Mabel lay still, eyes open. There was always that first moment, before movement, before responsibility, where she felt the full weight of the day without yet lifting it. Her phone lit up beside her. She turned her head and looked at it, but didn't reach for it immediately. Not yet. Those few seconds were the closest thing she had to silence, pretending, just briefly, that nothing was waiting. Then she picked it up. 3 messages. Her younger brother, Auntie, today is the deadline. They said I shouldn't come to school again. Her mother, call me when you wake. Her supervisor, we need to adjust yesterday's report before 10. She read all 3, her expression unchanged, her mind already rearranging the day before it had even begun. She sat up slowly and pressed her palm against her face, not out of sleep, but to gather herself. In the kitchen, the kettle began to hum. She moved with quiet efficiency, bread, water, time. By the time the kettle whistled, her phone was already pressed between her shoulder and ear. Ma, good morning. Her mother's voice came through, familiar and expectant. That money, we must send it today. They are asking again. Mabel closed her eyes briefly. Yes, Ma, I'll sort it out. And your uncle called. He said you should try and support small. I understand. A pause. You're okay? Mabel opened her eyes and stared ahead, not focusing on anything. I'm fine. The words came easily, too easily. She ended the call, turned off the kettle, and stood still for a moment, the steam rising and disappearing into the air, intense for a moment, then gone without a trace. The bus was already crowded when she stepped in. Bodies pressed close. Heat gathered quickly. Conductors shouted destinations like they were negotiating with time. Ojota! Ojota! Mabel found a narrow space by the window and sat carefully, her bag resting on her lap, her hands wrapped around it. Not tightly, just enough to feel anchored. Outside, Legos moved with purpose. A woman balancing bread, faster than traffic. A boy weaving through cars with bottled water. A billboard smiling down, promising a life no one in the bus looked like they were living. Mabel watched quietly. For a brief moment, just a moment, she allowed herself to feel the weight, not as separate problems, but as one continuous pressure. Then she adjusted, sat upright, composed again. At the office, her name was already in the air. Mabel, good morning! Mabel, please help me check this. Mabel, you're the only one that understands this thing. She moved through it all with calm precision, solving, adjusting, responding. People trusted her because she didn't break. And slowly, she had become someone people depended on, without anyone asking what it cost her. Across the room, Amaka noticed. Not the work, that was obvious. The spaces in between. The way Mabel paused slightly before responding. The way her shoulders held tension even when she was still. The way her smile came but didn't stay. By midday, the power went out. A brief groan. Then the generator came alive, its steady hum settling over everything. Mabel leaned back slightly and closed her eyes. Just 1 second longer than usual. Her phone rang. She answered. Hello, Ma. Yes, I saw it. Her fingers tightened slightly. "I said I'll send it." A pause, then softer. "I'm fine." That evening, most people had left. The office felt different when it was empty. Less demanding, but more revealing. Mabel sat at her desk, staring at her screen without really seeing it. Her phone buzzed. She picked it up. "You're the only one we have. Please don't disappoint us." She read it slowly. This time, something didn't move immediately inside her. Not resistance, not acceptance, just stillness. She stood up and walked to the restroom, locked the door, faced the mirror. For a moment, she didn't adjust anything. She just looked. And under her breath, barely audible, "I'm tired." The next morning, she arrived earlier than usual. Not to work, just to be there before everything started. She sat at her desk, hands resting still. The office was quiet. Amaka walked in shortly after. She noticed Mabel immediately, walked over, placed her bag down, then gently placed a folded piece of paper on Mabel's desk. "Mabel," she said softly, "I'll be at the printer." No explanation, no pressure, just that. Mabel looked at the paper, didn't open it immediately. She let it sit there, like something she wasn't sure she was ready for. Later, when the office filled again, when voices returned and demands resumed, she reached for it, opened it slowly. Written neatly inside, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." Matthew 11:28. She read it once, then again. The words didn't rush her, they stayed. That day, something small shifted. When a message came in, she didn't respond immediately. When someone said, "Mabel, can you quickly?" she paused, not refusing, but not rushing either. That evening, she sat at her desk again. The same responsibilities remained. Nothing external had changed. But this time, she leaned back, closed her eyes, and quietly, under her breath, she whispered, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened." Her shoulders dropped slightly, "and I will give you rest." She stayed there, not fixed, not free, but no longer carrying everything the same way. Days passed, and slowly, the scripture began to show up in her life. In the way she delayed a response without guilt. In the way she said, "I'll do it tomorrow," and meant it. In the way she allowed herself to pause without explaining. Rest didn't come as the absence of responsibility. It came as the presence of surrender. That night, she sat on her bed again. Same room, same responsibilities waiting. Her phone buzzed. She looked at it, read the message, placed it down, then folded her hands. "Lord, I'm not fine." A pause, "But I'm coming." And for the first time, those words didn't feel like weakness. They felt like release. Because the weight had not disappeared, but she was no longer the only one carrying it. And slowly, "I'm fine" began to lose its hold, replaced by something quieter, something truer. She was tired, she was burdened, and she had finally begun to come. If this story felt familiar, if "I'm fine" has become your daily response, maybe it's time to pause. You don't have to carry everything alone. Take a moment today and be honest with yourself and with God, because His invitation still stands. "Come to me, and I will give you rest." If this spoke to you, share it with someone who might need it. And don't forget to subscribe to Abiding Stream, where life meets truth and truth becomes life.